My name is Valerie, I'm 24 years old and I'm currently running a business on Sambal Liposu. Last year, I have just recently graduated from my major in crop production from the Faculty of Sustainable Agriculture in University Malaysia Sabah, branch in Sandakan. Right now, I am pursuing my master's degree in molecular biology at the Biotechnology Research Institute in University Malaysia Sabah in Kota Kinabalu. Together with the support of my family and friends, I started my business around September 2020, which is last year. Initially, I had a rough start because I cannot move freely. The reason why I can't move freely is because I don't have a driving license. The thought of running a business started with a passion to find a source of income to actually support my study during lockdown. Initially, it was a suggestion by my mother to work on a kind of a local fruit, which can be usually found from a forest, and it is known as the Liposu fruit. So, sambal is a condiment which is local to us and especially in every Southeast Asian country. This condiment is an appetizer before or during any meal. So the taste of sambal can be either spicy, sweet, tangy or savory, which actually elevates a person's appetite. It is actually best eaten with a plate of rice or served as a condiment to be eaten along with fried foods. So the major ingredient in my handcrafted sambal is a kind of fruit which is obtained from our very own indigenous Borneo forest tree, scientifically known as Bacauria lanceolata. So they can be mostly found in the forest and can grow very well in highland areas of 1,300 meters above the sea level. As a local, we call these fruits as liposu, and the morphology of the fruit is very round and globular. So we take the pericarp of the fruit and actually make them into sambal. It is very edible and most importantly, it is very sour in taste. However, because of the sour taste, we locals love it so much due to our palate, and we often process them into delicacies such as fresh sambal or fried sambal. According to scientific studies, Borneo natives, which is us locals, are known to use the fruit to treat fever, swellings, and also to enhance our immune system. The Liposu tree is known to bear fruit all year round, and once they bear fruit, they bear generous number of Liposu until it covers almost all of the main trunk of the tree. Recently, I have cultivated this plant in our very own farm by a method of propagation known as stem cutting. It's very good, especially in the long run. It would be easier for us to maintain the plant itself and to harvest the fruit easily without actually having to enter the forest to find it. Whenever I get orders, I would start by preparing all my ingredients freshly. At first, I would cook my sambal in a small wok and I can produce around 10 units of sambal liposu for every batch. However, using a small wok to cook large amount of sambal takes time around 2 to 3 hours and it's very tiring. So recently, I have also upgraded my small wok into a larger wok, and this time I can produce up to 25 units per batch, followed by less cooking time. I often do cash on delivery or I take online orders and I post them to my customers. My customers are mostly my family and friends. Some of them have repeated their orders from me more than twice. I do have my former colleagues who ordered all the way from Pahang and Johor. Well, these types of orders which involve postage is personally very challenging to me because I have to ensure the quality of the sambal is maintained all the way from here to the main destination. Within Sabah, the postage can take up to about 3 days, and the earliest I've gotten is 1 day. For West Malaysia orders, it could take about 5 to 7 days for the sambal to arrive in my customer's hand. So it is very important for me to actually make sure the packaging is very secure. So once the sambal actually arrived to my customer, I've always encouraged them to leave their honest reviews on my sambal. Some of the customers have their own personal preferences, so I tend to consult them before I cook the sambal for them. Some of them preferred a fine blend, some preferred more texture, and some preferred spicier, and some also preferred less spicy. So I cook this sambal so it is perfect for their palate. And this makes me feel very happy to receive compliments and also constructive criticisms from them. Apart from that, I want my customers to feel special when they receive the Sambal Liposu, which is specially made for them. Talking about constructive criticisms and suggestions, my family and friends also suggested me to do a Sambal Liposu with a twist. They've suggested me to experiment by adding pineapples, tuhau, and other things into the Sambal Liposu. Personally, I think the tuhau suggestion is really good, which is why recently I made a choice to make Sambal Liposu with an addition of tuhau. So tuhau is another forest produce which is scientifically known as Etlingera coccinea. It is generally known as a white ginger plant. We locals call them as tuhau, and we often use them as an ingredient in our condiments due to its very unique taste and a strong fragrance. I have also planted the tuhau in the farm, so I don't have to go to the forest or buy from others in the future. I really love how this business in Sambal Liposu helped me to generate extra side income for me. And as a local youth, I am determined to introduce and make popular the underutilized resources in the forest towards my community and to the whole nation. When I realized some of these local resources have a huge potential, so it is up to us locals who have that knowledge to bring out these resources for the people to see that it is actually very worth it for them to try, and it is on our behalf to actually make the resources presentable towards them so that they are not afraid to try it out. For the youth out there, take heart, for there is a high chance for all of us to be able to face challenges, especially in our struggle in finding a job. I believe that we as an individual youth, we can actually create job for ourselves. If all youth have the same mission to create just one job that is a job for yourself, of course, unemployment among youth will not become a problem. So I believe we all require the support to lean on as we strive and expand further. This is where we need support from the government and also guidance from the private sector, especially to youths who are normally studying and running their business at the same time.